Well, NRA President Ron Schmeits in studio on this historic day. And Ron, thanks very much for your time this afternoon, sir.
Well, thanks for inviting and let us come in.
Absolutely. So how was your morning? Were you there at the Supreme Court?
I was there at the Supreme Court. It's a rare privilege, I guess, to be able to attend and witness the Supreme Court in actual action. I've never been there before, and it was exciting. It was, I can't say entertaining, but it was very informative of how they operate and what they do.
Obviously, now we sort of play the waiting game after the oral arguments have concluded. There are no more rounds of briefing, and the public, we're not going to be privy to what the court decides. How hard is it to just sit and wait now for this
Well,
decision?
I think it is hard. There's 50-some briefs that were filed. I have read a couple of them. I haven't read them all. The justices have got to go through them somehow or another, and maybe they've already gone through them. And I think after they read those briefs today, they were able to ask the attorneys some opinions. And it's amazing as to what they do. And you're there speaking and making your points, and one judge will, interrupt them and ask them a point that is probably something they're not even talking about. So it really changes your view and your concentration of what you're saying. And all of a sudden, you've got this justice over here that's asking you a question, and you answer that, and then pretty soon you've got a justice on the other side asking you a question. I think the attorneys did a very good job, and I thought there were some super great questions that were directed to them.
With obviously the city of Chicago arguing, not only it seems that their handgun ban should remain in place and should be found to be constitutional, but it seemed like what we heard from Mayor Daley last week and from the attorneys at Chicago, they almost seemed to want to revisit whether or not the Second Amendment was an individual right. Did that come up at all in the court?
Well, I think it came up with a couple questions and a couple statements that were made, but I look at that Second Amendment. It's a fundamental individual right to keep and bear arms, and I don't care where you're at, whether you live in D.C., which is the Heller case, or whether you live in any state or any local government area, you should have the same right out there, and those rights are secured through the 14th Amendment. And I think the Second Amendment should be there. I think the attorneys did a great job. I think there were some great questions that were asked. Now it's a waiting game, and I might be a little prejudiced and say, man, everything came out okay. I don't know that for a fact. But I'm going to be anxious to see the opinions when they come down, probably sometime in mid to late June. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's going to be a real waiting game. And after being here, I'd like to have the opinion today.
I think every gun owner in this country would like to have this opinion today. But regardless, even if the gun owners of this country are pleased with the court's ultimate decision, our fights won't stop. I mean, our fights are not going away anytime soon, are they?
No, I think, regardless of what comes down from the Supreme Court, I think in one way, if they rule in our favor, maybe some of the things will be a little bit easier. We're still going to have people nipping away at our gun rights no matter what. Mm-hmm. If they rule against us, we just have a bigger challenge out there. Hopefully, they will rule in favor of fundamental individual rights to keep and bear arms, but that's an uncertainty at this point. And we need to proceed the way we have without a change in our philosophy. That we really do believe that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights applies to all Americans.
Absolutely. Ron Schmeits, President of the National Rifle Association. I cannot thank you enough, sir, for joining us in studio again on this historic day. And if I don't see you in person before then, I look forward to seeing you in Charlotte, North Carolina for the NRA annual meetings.
Charlotte, North Carolina, annual meeting in May is going to be a barn burner. Everybody needs to come. It's going to be great.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you.